Valve is kicking off 2026 with a brand new Steam Deck update. After that, let's talk about how Lenovo just announced the ultimate version of the Legion Go 2, but there's a really interesting detail about it that I haven't seen covered. And finally, Asus might have just announced the best XR glasses for Steam Deck. How's it going, everyone? As always, my name is Jimmy Champagne. This is Deck Ready, my channel all about Steam hardware. I hope you're having a great week playing a ton of video games. Nothing new to report as far as playing games goes. I'm still playing Baldur's Gate 3. I'm still playing Dead by Daylight. Let everyone know what you're playing down in the comments below. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace asked me to highlight their new feature, Design Intelligence. Basically, it takes their 2 decades of industry-leading design expertise and combines it with super-powered AI tools. And what you get is the ability to build a super cool, awesome-looking website very easily that backs up your online look and feel. And if you've got a cool Steam Deck accessory you want to sell online, Squarespace Payments is made for you. You can get it set up in a few clicks, which is awesome, and it accepts tons of the most used payment processors, and you can do it all in one place. And then if you're also providing a service, Squarespace makes it really easy to generate an invoice, send it out, and collect your payment. Or you can use it to generate proposals, estimates, and contracts. Basically anything you want to do with your online business, Squarespace has an easy to use tool to help you. And like I mentioned, every part of this is built to be simple. They have tons of templates you can use and modify to your taste that'll give you an awesome looking website in minutes. Head to squarespace.com to start your free trial, and when you're ready to launch, head to squarespace.com/deckready to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Once again, huge shout out to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Also, please help me get to 100,000 subscribers. If you're a regular viewer of this channel, subscribe, set your notifications to all, but let's get into the first news story here. As usual, I picked out the things that I think are the most relevant to most people in this Steam Deck update, starting out with Steam recording being fixed. I got this issue a lot when I was recording gameplay for my sale videos where I was telling you what games I thought were worth buying on the Steam Deck. It would record for a few minutes and everything would look fine, and then it would just pause on a certain frame, and for the rest of the recording that frame was all you'd see. So you'd get the audio and then a frozen frame. It was so annoying because I tried to fix it over and over again, and then I just gave up and ended up using game trailers. So that should be fixed in the new Steam Deck update, and I tested it last night when I was playing Baldur's Gate. Everything went fine, so fingers crossed this issue doesn't come back, because I used that Steam recording feature a lot on the Steam Deck. They also fixed an issue that a lot of people were running into where the performance overlay was showing the wrong percentage for CPU usage. I know it's not that big of a deal to most people because most people aren't weirdos like me who really track what percentage of my GPU is being used and what percentage of my CPU is being used, but that was really relevant to me on my SteamOS PC. I was comparing the performance between Bazzite and SteamOS, so having the readout be wrong was kind of annoying. I'm glad they fixed that. Another issue that's reoccurred a few times over the past few years is the little toast icons you get when people join games, when you get a friend request, when one of your friends start playing a game, you know, those little bottom corner notifications. For some reason, whether I'm on my main gaming PC or my Steam Deck or even my Legion Go S, they cause major frame rate drops. So even if you have a ton of headroom like I do on my main PC, it'll drop the frame rate to like 50 FPS until that little notification goes away. I noticed it resolved itself, and it turns out it's because of this update. I'm glad they fixed that quickly because I had to turn off toast notifications on my main PC because I'm getting so many friend requests. And just so everyone knows, I'm at the limit of friends on Steam. I didn't know it was capped at 500, so I'll keep an eye on who's actually logging in and who isn't, and I'll open up some spots in the future. But for right now, the friends list is full. I'm sorry, I can't do anything about it, but thankfully it won't actually decrease my performance on my PC when I get a notification. That's the silver lining here. Another issue that they fixed that'll help with Steam Machine and is also helping on my SteamOS PC is they fixed a weird thing with VRR where if you were using the frame rate limiter in SteamOS in addition to VRR, after a while the performance would start to tank, like if it had a VRAM leak or something like that. I don't really know what was going on there, but they say they fixed that, so that's good. You don't want something like that happening at the launch of the Steam Machine. And finally, they fixed a major issue with Forza Horizon 4 and 5 where when you would start the game up, it would be a black screen for a lot of people. This one took a long time to fix, and it's Microsoft's fault because every time Valve fixes it, they update the game and it re-breaks it. The best way to get around this, if you ever encounter it, is to launch the game in desktop mode once, and then it'll set the resolution to 1280 by 800, and then if you launch it again in game mode, it should work just fine. Another issue that I run into constantly with Forza Horizon 4 and 5, and any other Xbox game I would assume, but those are the only ones I play, is that it won't let you log log in if you have passkey set up on your Microsoft account. So it'll be like, hey, you want to log in, use the camera or the fingerprint reader. And as we all know, Steam Deck doesn't have either a camera or a fingerprint reader, and there's no way to get around that. So the only way to fix it is to turn off passkey on your account and then leave it with two-factor setup with your phone. It's not the most secure way to do it, but if you want to play Microsoft games on your Steam Deck, you have to make sure passkey is not enabled. And also another frustrating bug that I've ran into lately with Forza Horizon 4 and 5 is that the login window won't work. Even after you type in your password, once passkey is off, it'll give you some weird thing that's like you need to sign into the Microsoft services, which you just did by typing in your password. The only reliable way I've found around that is to just try multiple versions of Proton GE until you hit the one that allows you through. Then you can quit the game and put it to the latest version of Proton or Proton GE. But yeah, I don't know why these games have major issues because they're some of the most played games on the Steam Deck overall, but you know, you can't really expect Microsoft to do anything, it seems like, correctly. It's just really annoying. The only racing games that I go back to on the Steam Deck consistently have the most problems, so I'm glad Valve is jumping in the mix to kind of fix some of these issues. Not a lot of new features in this update, which is fine with me. Like, how many features can they really add to SteamOS at this point that aren't directly related to the Steam machine? I'm assuming we'll get more of those closer to the launch or after the launch. I'm fine with bug fix updates. If you let them get out of control, then they become, you know, hard to fix. They like build on top of each other, as we've seen in a lot of games lately. So I'm glad Valve is staying on top of it. Update your Steam Deck to get all those fixes and you should be just fine. Also, while I'm thinking about it, they gotta fix this bug if anyone from Valve is watching. Lately, when you hit apply on an update, it'll not show the progress bar. It'll just flip to the restart button. You restart your Steam Deck and then the process starts over and it works. Let's eliminate that middle step where it does a fake update. I don't know what's going on there, but it's been doing that for like 6 months now. But that brings me to the second news story of today's video, which is Lenovo has announced the Legion Go 2 for SteamOS. And this is a little bit weird. So right out of the gate, things are different than the Legion Go S. The Legion Go S has two colorways to signify which version you're getting. If you get the white one, you're getting Windows. If you get the cool purple gray one, you're getting SteamOS. With the Legion Go 2, it's just the same device in a different box with a different operating system shipping on the handheld. So that's a little bit interesting, but things get even weirder. If you go back to the Legion Go S, there is a price difference between the two devices. If you buy the SteamOS version, you generally save $100 over the Windows one, even though you're getting the exact same hardware. I don't think this was ever confirmed, but the general consensus was that Windows was charging a licensing fee to put Windows on the device. So obviously they pushed that cost onto the consumer and you end up paying $100 more for the Windows device. So everyone was saying, whether you're going to install Windows or not, just buy the SteamOS one. If you want to use Windows, install Windows. They have the exact same hardware inside, so it doesn't matter. This time around with the Legion Go 2, the situation is reversed. The Legion Go 2 with SteamOS, which comes out in June, is actually starting at $100 more than the Windows version, which is available right now. So the Z2 Go version is $1,200. Now, to be fair to Lenovo, we don't know what the more expensive version costs. They only announced that it starts at $1,200. So one thing that could explain this is they foresee a price increase on the Windows version coming soon, or they want them to cost the exact same thing and there will be a $100 price increase on the Windows version, so it'll all equal out at the end of the day. Or another possibility, which I think would be cool, is that Microsoft might be getting in the ring, right? Like maybe they're getting rid of the licensing fee for these gaming handhelds and they're saying, look, if you ship this thing with Windows, we'll either give you a subsidy on the licensing fee for Windows or we'll give you a little bit of a kickback, because we know there's an incentive now to continue shipping with SteamOS on these handhelds. Regardless, I wanted a little bit more clarity, so I reached out to Lenovo and they answered right away and they told me, yep, there is a price difference, but we cannot share why there is a price difference in the opposite way that it worked with the Legion Go S. So things are just a little bit tricky and interesting there. I'm really curious to see how this is going to shake out. But yeah, if you've got your eyes set on a Legion Go 2 because you want that OLED screen, you want the detachable controllers, you want that big high resolution screen and all of the other benefits that come with the Legion Go 2, but you want SteamOS as well, I mean, just buy the Windows one right now if you can find it, because it's out of stock everywhere. Sit on it for a while, and then when Valve eventually releases SteamOS for the Legion Go 2, you can just install it and you'll save $100 in the process and you'll already be used to the controls and everything, and you won't have to wait 6 months to get your hands on it. I think it's like a reverse scenario of what happened with the Legion Go S, where everyone was like, if you want to get a Legion Go S, regardless of operating system, buy the SteamOS SteamOS one because you'll save $100. I think the only reason we're even seeing price differences in the first place is because everyone's selling these things for more than they want to. Like the Z2 Extreme version of the Legion Go 2, I think is like $1,350, which is crazy when you compare it to the $549 starting cost of the Steam Deck OLED, but there's really nothing in between. It's either you pay $550 for the Steam Deck OLED, and then it jumps up close to $1,000 for every other competing device. And it really just comes down to the memory cost, the component costs, and putting the latest chips in your devices. So yeah, I mean, it's a weird situation all around. Still very excited to see more devices getting official SteamOS. I expect this list to grow. Hopefully once the Steam Machine is out, we start to see laptops and desktops shipping with SteamOS. Like I want it on everything. But that brings me to the third news story of today's video, which is we might have a new king of XR glasses on the Steam Deck. I'm not even going to explain what XR glasses are because literally every channel under the sun has been sponsored by XR glasses at some point. I've been sponsored by both companies, Vitcher and Rokid, and they all basically do the same thing. You know, you take the glasses, you put them on, you plug a cord into your Steam Deck, bam, you've got a big virtual screen in front of your face, and it is kind of crazy how good it looks. But XReal is doing things different for their new pair. They're partnering up with Asus to get screens in these glasses that go up to 240 hertz. They're both micro OLED. They have a resolution of 1080p, which basically means they're going to look really good. And yeah, obviously you're not going to be pushing many games to 240 hertz on your Steam Deck, but having that high of a refresh rate just makes everything look a lot smoother, even if you're playing at 60 or 30 FPS, and you could just plug them into your PC and get higher frame rate gaming, or you could plug them into a PS5 or a Switch or anything like that, as long as you have a long enough USB-C cord. They all also have these crazy built-in speakers that like blast sound into your bones, so like no one around you can hear what you're listening to, but it sounds like you're wearing headphones. That might be the craziest thing about these things. I don't know. I use these things from time to time, like when I'm traveling. I like having the glasses on because they shade the world around you, and that's nice. I think they work well for gaming. I don't really love them for watching media. That seems to be the thing that's pushed the most with them, like streaming Netflix or whatever. I'd rather just use my iPad or watch that stuff on the TV. But for gaming devices, I think they're great. Like when you plug them into the Steam Deck, the deck screen turns off and then you only are powering the glasses, but they sip power to the point where you're not even going to notice a battery drain at all. And there's just something really cool about Asus leaning into the whole technological look and feel of the thing. Like it's a very panel lined aesthetic, I would say. You know, like all these other ones kind of try to look like Ray-Ban Wayfarers, which is a good idea because, you know, you want to sell them to the general public. And if you make it look like the sunglasses or glasses they already wear, they're going to be a lot more palatable. But these are for gaming, so you got to make them look like they're for gaming. And honestly, I think they look pretty cool. There's no word on pricing just yet. I know these things can get a little pricey, so we'll just have to wait and see. But they say they're going to be out in the first half of 2026. And I always see people say they love using these on their handheld, so I figured I'd give you guys a heads up as the third news story in this video. But yeah, that's all I've got for gaming news in this video. I'm splitting my time between gaming and a new Lego set I got for Christmas. I got the Creel house from Stranger Things. I'm really excited about it because if you can see, I have the original Stranger Things set, the upside down, which I absolutely love. But the Creel house is like my favorite kind of haunted house. You know, the Victorian style manor that you see in like the Neibolt house from It, or of course the Creel house in Stranger Things. I want a house like that. There's a bunch of them in Clarkston, Michigan. If I ever move, it's because I hit it big and I'm gonna buy a Victorian style house in Clarkston. It's just like the coolest aesthetic ever. The cool thing about it though is that it comes with almost every character from the show. You get everyone from like Robin to Holly to Dustin to Mike to Nancy to Jonathan. Hopper and Joyce came with the free gift set. The only character I'm missing is Dipshit Derek. Ken? I thought they'd do a Dipshit Derek because he's the runaway star of season 5 of Stranger Things, but you know what they're going to do? They're going to do what they did with Barb, where, you know, this set didn't have Barb, even though she was integral to season 1 of Stranger Things because she gets killed mercilessly, and then they made her a Comic-Con exclusive, and now her minifig is worth so much money. That's what they're going to do with Dipshit Derek. Mark it. But yeah, guys, let me know what you've got going on in your lives down in the comments below. As always, guys, my name is Jimmy Champagne. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and shape on.